Hello SGD, Sacred Geometry Decoded, and because I was having a discussion with someone earlier today and then read and replied to a couple of comments. So Hoover Dam, well basically, let's start with the Transformers movie. So I was talking about it earlier, it just happened to be on TV later, and then I just caught a crucial glimpse. And so this is part one. What's he wearing there? Well, G. So it's about Masonic symbols appearing in movies. Well, okay, I'm just seeing things. It's a G, big deal. Of course, you got the G there. Now he's wearing this hoodie, and he wears it throughout most of the movie. When you see him wearing it, you're seeing from the background, and the hoodie is covering the back. And so, so apart from the G and this A, which is slightly reminiscent of a compass, well, what's there? Nothing much, big deal. There's some stuff there, but that's a MacGuffin. Always in the movie you got to have some magic object, magic ring, something. But anyway, the hoodie's hidden from the back. You don't see it, but you catch a glimpse here and there you get, well, again, G, and what's poking out from his hoodie? Well, if you're any doubt, 33 and 33. And it's just one again. Who's the wardrobe designer? Who, you don't just sort of bring your own clothes to one of these movies. These things are, every little detail is considered. And so 33 on the Scottish Rite, very important number. 33 columns, 33 feet, that type of stuff. And well, then you go to Transformers Part 2, and a good part of that happens in Egypt. These are all Michael Bay movies, by the way. I think South Park did a brilliant take of that, but anyway, a lot of it happens in Egypt, and there we see him running. Now, what's going on there? Interesting. There we get a hint. Another view. Oh, it's a 6. Well, no, it's again clever. They've changed it just enough to plausible deniability, let's call it. So let's look at this board. Sonic emblems. Start up here, we have the moon and 7 stars around the outside. Count how many he has around the outside there. So this board, it's interesting because you have 5 very clear pentagram, 5-pointed star. This one's a little bit not as clear, and just like on his shirt he's got a circle, so I've marked that there just to illustrate it, but that could be a resolution issue, but the importance of the moon and connected to the 7 stars, which could be the Pleiades, which are very important. You see it in major engineering companies, car companies. It's a very often repeated symbol. The Pleiades is part of a constellation, Taurus. But what else? Well, of course, the G. And so given the appearance, and as we saw earlier, this is just changed it just enough to make it look like a 6. But that's the 7 stars around the moon, 7 stars around the moon, and the G. Now let's put all the 7 stars there. Which brings us to this tracing board. I think that's 42 rays around the outside there, and in number 42. But let's, what do we have? The moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, not arranged in a circle. They're arranged more like the Pleiades. But what do we have? Again, this shooting star, comet, meteorite. And I think that's what's happening there. I want to get the better resolution, but again, it's changed just enough. So again, it's sort of, it's there, but it's just enough change so you could, unless you're familiar with these things, you might miss it. But where else do we see in the movie? So one of the best science fiction movies probably for a long time, Aliens and the Colonial Marines. But what's the sergeant got? Got the Mason ring. Just a bit of a close up there as well. And again, so these when an actor comes on, they change their jewelry, they change their clothes, they change, so this more than likely was part of the wardrobe. Possibly the actor wore it on there, possibly. But G, the compass and the square. Now flushed away. What's he got? Mason's ring. Ant bully. What you got going on there? The compass and square on the rocking chair. And Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the MC, which I think even called the master of either way. What do we have? Again, compass and square with the G. I couldn't get the better resolution, but it's definitely what's happening there. So these are some examples of the movies. Now back to Aliens. And then there's a scene, if you're familiar with the movie, when they're all getting out of cryostasis. One of us Marines is complaining. Sergeant says, "Look into my eye." And then we see a flash of a ring. Look into my eye. I think it's another nod. Now the pentagram, such a common symbol in military, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, so back to there. G. 7 stars. 7 stars again. Look into my eye. And back to part 1. So this G with 33 on the back. Not seeing things, that's what's going on. It's all carefully chosen wardrobe. This is the way they do things. Now, back in part 1, there's a Hoover Dam is one of the locations. In the movie, they built Hoover Dam to hide this robot that they found way back. I could go into President Hoover, but it's something else to do with mining and alchemy, let's call it. But a large part of the scene happens here at Hoover Dam. And there's a secret organisation, S7, 7 stars, Sector 7. And also got a nice connection to the cube there. And they have their base secret lab here in Hoover Dam. And what else do we have at Hoover Dam? Well, we have the Zodiac around the outside. And what's going on here? Well, it's a compass rose, 32, around the 33rd core point. Just recently did some videos on it. There's quite a bit going on at Hoover Dam. But okay, let's consider the Zodiac. Now let's pause for a moment. Okay, throughout the series on 33, it's one place we've already been looking at, the Indianapolis Scottish Rite Cathedral, 33 degrees on the Scottish Rite, and the cathedral itself, 330 feet long. Now, in the entrance, they have what's at the entrance we have what's called the Tyler's Room, and it's a cube with 33 feet height, width, and breadth. And what's on the floor? Well, the Zodiac, and we have the scales, the cross, the rose cross, and we have Yod, I think. Is it Yod? I think so. But let's go back. The rose. Nice little nod to the Zodiac on this cube, and that's the cube facing the camera as well. Again, chosen. This is big budget movies. They know what they're doing, and Yod, and there we have it again. So another little tip of the hat, and Hoover Dam, 33 around the 33rd. Now, interesting place. You also have this. The memorial monument, a very interesting structure, let's say, and the floor plan. Now, if you look, just Google the Hoover Dam, look for some of the pictures. Very interesting place, but there's something else in there. And we have on the part of this this diagram traces a complete sidereal revolution of the equinox, otherwise known as the Platonic or Great Year. The average length of a complete sidereal revolution is 25,694 tropical years, but may differ from the mean time of revolution of 281.2 years. So 25,920 this is the mean line of precession from the pole of the Earth's equator, shown here by the outside circumference of this white metal circle, which is 46 degrees, 0.9 in diameter, 46 0.9 inches, sorry, in diameter. Okay, I should have prepared for that. But, well, two-band, which is part of a constellation Draco, as in Draco the Dragon. What's going on? That's very, very interesting. Yeah, even dropping the palms in there. Now, also, we have, if you know your constellations, you look to the north, we've got two-band, from part of, is it Draco or is it the Little Bear? But what do we have? The plough or the adze, and that was called Mesketu in ancient Egypt. So important to aligning temple, Chesed, stretching the cord, the imperishable stars, which are just soft pyramid text, Book of the Dead, etc. So we have precession. We have a 32/33. Well, that's no points for guessing what's going on there. All around the Hoover Dam, these, yeah, all the same connections happening. And so the G is G. And again, so in other movies as well, there's so often film clips, video clips, movies, the set designers, they put these things in very subtly. So you could put it in for, especially these days, because if you put a compass and square, you're just going to get clickbait. It's a good way to do it, but these are often so subtle that unless you really know what you're looking for, you can completely miss these types of things. And it just, yeah, it happens. You can say Michael Bay and all the set designers there in Transformers. It wasn't just in part 1, it was in part 2 as well, which was centered around the pyramids, interestingly, just like there at Hoover Dam. 33 on his shirt, and so the hoodie conceals it throughout most of the movie. There's just a few scenes where it pops up. I had to scan through the clips on YouTube to find that exact clip, but yeah, so tip of the hat, and this is carefully planned. 33, compass and square. This is Hollywood, obviously, but it's embedded in important bits of architecture, and things like the Hoover Dam are huge projects, highly engineered, highly designed, just like blockbuster movies and animation. Like every pixel counts and is scrutinized. So these things are designed with possibly not equal level, but a similar level of design and intent goes into making a movie, framing objects to put these things in camera. That's shadowed, but it's like pointing at that. And so Hoover Dam as well, nice series. I'll add this to the 33 playlist, but it's one of these things that's a lot of interesting stuff going on. You can't really make it up. You can say you're seeing things, well, yeah, no, it's the other way around. If you don't acknowledge it, well, that's the issue. It's not seeing things is not the issue. This is clear intent and designed in these same themes. So, yeah, one of the shafts from the Great Pyramid, guess what star it points to? No points for guessing. Precession, Mesketu, Chesed, alignment, the stretching the cord ceremony, ancient Egypt, and archaeoastronomy, and in air quotes, proper modern astronomy as well. Part of an ancient system, and in these big, very highly designed, very expensive buildings. So with that, I hope you enjoyed and have a good one.